Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it twice a day.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it in the morning and before dinner.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it, and share it with my doctor. Nearly 1 in 2 U.S. adults have high blood pressure. That's why it's important to self-monitor your blood pressure in 4 easy-to-remember steps. It starts with a monitor.
Now that I know my blood pressure numbers, I talked with my doctor. We're getting those numbers down.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it.
Be next to talk to your doctor about your blood pressure numbers. Get down with your blood pressure. Self-monitoring is power. Learn more at manageyourbp.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the American Heart Association, and the American Medical Association, in partnership with the Office of Minority Health and Health Resources and Services Administration.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
I'm Chris Jakovic. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakovic, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Welcome to Ticket Weeknights
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Niko Project live every single Sunday from 1 to 2 p.m. I currently have 2 amazing guests with me here today, my track and field buddies, and they're having some technical difficulties currently putting their mics on real quick. So I'm going to give a little introduction as to who they are. So starting out to my very left, I have Ashro Dixon. Ashro is from Georgia. He's a high jumper. His current PR here at the University of Nebraska is about 6'10", absolute menace. He is 5'10", about a little bit under my height. So if you could do the math on that, that dude is 5'10", jumping 6'10" over that bar. So he is one heck of an athlete. And then to his left, we got Tyrell Pierce. Tyrell Pierce started out as a Division III athlete, absolutely balled out last year, proved that he was worthy of being a Division I athlete, transferred up to the Big Ten to a Power 5 conference, and here he is today with us. His PR in the 400 is about a 46.4, I believe, and he's looking to go 45 this season and bring home another chip for us. So 2 gentlemen to my left, man, how we feeling about being on the show today?
Man, I'm blessed, man. It's really an honor to be out here, man. Shout out Niko and everything y'all got going on here at the shop, man.
I'm very happy to be here. Thanks for having us.
No, of course, man, of course. So I'm going to go ahead and kick this thing off real quick. I mean, I'm going to give a quick introduction as to, who you guys are. But, I mean, like I said, we're all roommates, actually. So for all of you who don't know about this, we have a pretty dynamic household. We're always playing Fortnite together, messing around. It's always a fun time inside of our house. So we have a pretty cool connection here. But for the fans out there, for the listeners, who is Ash and who is Tyrell? Y'all can fight about who wants to go first.
I think seniority rule. Go ahead, Ty.
No, you got it. You got it.
I got it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Who's
all
Ash?
Right, man. Like Niko said, man, I'm Ash. My real name is Ashro Dixon. I am from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a track star here at the University of Nebraska. Man, a little bit about me, man. I guess a fun fact. All my siblings, our names start with Ash. So Ashley, Ashton, Ashline, Ashriel. How I got in the track, I have no clue. My basketball coach told me I should go out, and I tried high jump my junior year. And I was like, man, I'm not going to go to college for this. What is this? Like, what am I jumping over a bar for? You feel me? And then, unfortunately, I got cut my senior year of basketball.
What?
Yeah, I think the coach, some bias. Like, he did not like me at all.
Really?
Yeah, but it's all right, God got a bigger plan. But anyway, senior year, I started clearing a decent amount of high bars, and then I started getting recruited. Originally, I wanted to stay in the South, but I got in contact with Coach E, which is their sprint coach. So, and then he got me in contact with Dusty. And then one thing that really stuck with me, Dusty told me, he said, Ash, I don't need you. I said, what? He was like, I want you, though. I can develop you into a great high jumper one day. And I said, I appreciate that. And now I'm here. I'm loving it here in Lincoln. And I don't think I'd rather be anyplace else. That's a little rundown with me, man. So
Amazing story.
Good story. Good
Tyrell.
story. So yeah, my name is Tyrell. Born and raised in Florida, West Palm Beach, Florida, about an hour away from Miami.
Okay.
And then around middle school, I moved to Alabama with my father. Spent some time there, and then as everybody know, I went Division III out of high school. I was pretty slow, but for me, I was always a football guy. Football always had my first love, and that's what I originally wanted to do. I only did track because I was trying to get faster for football, so that's how that happened. And throughout college, football was declining, track was increasing. So at some point, I was like, all right, I just need to stick with track. And gosh, I just feel like I'm on a journey where the Lord just has me on a journey where I just gotta inspire other people throughout my story. And so, that's who I am.
Definitely. You guys both have very unique stories. I mean, obviously you guys are different people, but at the same time, we're all here at this university. We're all trying to achieve the same thing. We're all trying to, become the best versions of ourselves as people. Now, but not only as people, as athletes as well. I mean, our day-to-days are crazy. And so some, inside viewership that I want our viewers to understand. Can you go ahead and break up the difference of what was like, being in high school, training, doing your day-to-day versus what it was like being in college? And Tyrell is going to be real unique because he got to see both sides of the spectrum of, Division III and then jump into Division I. So I'm going to start with you, Tyrell. What was the difference from, training in high school, the training to D3 to training to D1?
So, in high school, I did football, basketball, and track. So all school year long.
Triathlete.
Yeah, all school year long, I'm doing some type of sport. So I really didn't have time to rest. I mean, I had the summer, but at that point, I'm training for football.
Right.
And so your body is really going through a lot, but it's like you're very young. It's easy. You could, I don't got to stretch. I ain't got to do none of that. I'm just, I go to practice, I perform, get to the game day or track meet, whatever, perform. It's real easy.
Right.
You get to college, it's different now. Everybody's bigger, faster. Like you really got to, you got to change your mindset a little bit. And so at the Division III level, I feel like people like the talent wise, the difference between Division I and Division III is like really big.
Right.
But I feel like Division III people, they really have a heart for their sport. And so like they might not be like the best at what they do, but they're going to give 110%. And so like at that Division III level, we don't have the resources or anything like that, but we're hungry. We're really hungry. We got a chip on our shoulder. We're the lowest. Nobody really don't care about Division III like that. And so like we just have that mindset, like we're really trying to get it. And then I get here, Nebraska. It's like, okay, it's like I feel like I have a job now. Like this is like schedule, like everything is like on point. Everything is unique in its own ways. And it's like it's totally different from what I had at my previous school.
Right. I mean, I saw a quote from Fred Curley, one of the best American sprinters in the world right now, and he said that us Division I athletes aren't as hungry as those D3 athletes because he has a very similar story to you. I mean, he started out as I think at a JUCO and then transferred up to I believe Texas A&M, where he broke all these records, went amazing, and he obviously is an Olympian now. He's a beast. But he even said that right now in his pro career that Division III, there's just a different type of aura with you guys. You guys just want it more. You guys are hungrier. And then as you mentioned between right now with this Division I thing, I mean, you got everything. I mean, you got a lot of more money here. You got a lot more people. You got a lot more competition. It's crazy. It's crazy between the flip. So Asheville, go ahead. I want you to go ahead and break that down for us. I mean, you came in as a freshman. It was probably crazy seeing everything, especially with high jumpers. High jumpers were ranked, top 3 in the nation every single weekend. I mean, we're one of the most feared groups here in Nebraska. Our throws and our jumps. And as you mentioned before, Coach Dusty, Olympian, former pro athlete, former national champion, absolute beast. What's that like? What is it like training for you?
Ooh, I mean, like Tyrell said, it is itinerary-based schedule every day. But coming in as a freshman blindly, because I didn't take a visit to Nebraska, I really didn't know who Dusty was or who my training group was going to be. I can only go off what I seen like on the news and like on TV first and everything like that. But honestly, man, I got here and me being a freshman, I'm thinking, I'm going to break all these records. I'm going to do this, all that. But it's a very humble experience because coming into college, you're either going to be as good as somebody or everybody's going to be better than you. And the podium is just such a big spectrum all across the country. And it's just like, okay, me being at the University of Nebraska, and we are the #1 high jump team in the nation behind, like, it's us, Louisville, and I want to say NC State. And it's just a big competition. And like you said, Dusty did jump 7, 8 3/4. He won USA's. Like, being under him, being coached under him, it's just a big standard for us to live under. But like people might think like, being a high jumper could be hard, but like Dusty makes it like easy for us. You know, like he makes everything like separated for us. He knows how to coach individually. Like I never seen somebody go deep into a high jump like he has. Like we use math when it comes to getting our approaches and everything like that. And Dusty's more like I don't even really call him coach. I call him he's really like an uncle type figure to me because like it's not always about track for him. And I feel like that's what makes me even more inspired to continue doing what I'm doing. And Dusty really, at first coming in, I didn't know I love high jump, like until we lost conference. we lost conference, and Dusty was just there. He was telling me like, it happens. You're a freshman. You're performing to the best of your ability, and don't hang your head down. And I was like, okay, for real. And it really just took me long ways to like see like my passion for the sport and the passion that I have around me of like minded. So that's what it's really like training under Dusty. People might say we might not do much because we don't like run and we don't do none of that, but like it's really hard working and it's nothing like how high school was. Cause high school, like, like Tyrell said, I would just go to practice and jump and like goof off and then competition. Cause if you're have the elite quote unquote ability, you're going to beat everybody in your high school. And that's just how it's going to be until you get to the collegiate level, which now is more serious. And on top of that, I actually had to worry about a GPA and not getting kicked out of school. So it's really academics and athletics. So yeah.
I think you said it best. I think everything amplifies the academics, the sport, the passion for everything. I mean, you mentioned that Dusty, he brings in even math to it. And, he was a former, USA Open champion. He was a former national champion. Every step counts when it comes to that. And so academically, physically, mentally, spiritually, all of the above, it all gets crazier and crazier. And I saw something on Instagram today where it was like, when you're in college, like everything, it feels like a fever dream. And then you go back home, like for a summer, for some type of break, and it feels like you're back to reality. Like it's literally a reality check. Like being here, everything's just crazier. I mean, a few weeks ago, me and these two gentlemen right here, we were out downtown doing interviews with a bunch of people down in the rail yard, just interviewing them, random questions and stuff like that. And there's a side of Lincoln that if you ever get a chance to go out late night, game night, to just walk around downtown, you're going to see some crazy things. And that's how that is. And that's kind of the question I want to ask you guys is, how do you, take in everything that's happening here? I mean, there's so many different things when it comes to just communicating with people, grades, everything. How do you keep your head just on a swivel? Like, how do you stay straight through it all, through the storm?
I can start this one since you went last time.
Yeah, go ahead.
But me coming in, I'm expecting college lifestyle, okay, party, homework, class, I mean, practice at being a student athlete. But this year I had to really prioritize my schedule. Like last year, I always used to go out, always come in late, and then expect my body to get up early in the morning, practice, and so on and so forth. But it's really just a crazy experience because you never know what you're going to get. Like on game days, if we go to the rail yard, there's so many different people from all over because, Nebraska is like a huge fan base to collegiate sports. So everybody's come from all over the state. And even like the other Midwest states come in and support. But it's just like, it's different. It's unique. Like Niko said, it's like a dream because like you see people ride around on the scooters all over like the roads and everything like that. But when I go back home to Georgia, it's none of that, like it's just people driving. It's not like Nebraska is a college town. Everything you can think of as a college town. And that's what really sets into reality. Like when I go home, it's not the same. But when I'm here, it's like fairy tale. And I still can't believe that I'm here. I'm like, dang, we're in Nebraska. Like I'm 14 hours away from home. Like, what am I doing here? But like, it's just, I don't know. I love it though. Like for my friends and then my teammates and everything like that. I just feel like home. I'm getting used to it now.
Yeah. For me, it's like I hate going home now. Like honestly, ever since I got here, I was like, wow, this is so different. Like, I've never like been in an environment or a community that really like engages with the athletes at the university. And so it's really amazing to see what happens here on campus, off campus, like downtown, wherever. And so like you're kind of in this like fever dream you was talking about, and it's like you go back home, you like, wow, like I'm ready to go back to school now. Like,
100.
you know what I'm saying? Like I'm ready to get back now. And it's just crazy,
It goes 100 miles per hour, it feels like. So what I want from you guys, I want you to try to, think of a story that you can go ahead and tell the fans for like of this, this fever dream. And I can go ahead and start this off. So the other day I was getting gas kind of near East Campus, and I'm filling up my car, and I see a car trailing a car like crazy. Like He's tailing him. One car's going 30 miles per hour. The other guy's behind him. He's mad, so he tries to swerve around him. And so he's going onto oncoming traffic, but the car that was going slow ends up busting a crazy left. And then the car that busted left ends up flipping over because the guy ended up crashing into him. Both cars are absolutely both cars flip. One of the cars lands on his tires, the other one's on his back. And then all I hear is the car doing spinning out, just trying to get out of there. Like nobody's getting out of the car. The one guy spins out and just darts down the road. I'm sorry, he was pushing probably he got the 0 to 60 in probably 7 seconds. The one guy gets out of the car who flipped over, just starts sprinting, bro. Sprinting to the car into an abyss, into the smoke. I didn't even see him ever hit. Both the cars there, there's smoke coming up, and there's no cops, there's no nothing. It was just 2 broken cars, everyone's gone. And I couldn't even believe it.
Yeah, bro.
I've never seen nothing that crazy. That is a crazy story.
That's my story.
Shoot, stories? I can't even think of nothing. Like, you talking about in college or since I
free game?
Ooh, I'm gonna have to go with my boy Jake. All right, so last year I lived in the dorms. Right, it's probably the craziest thing. Jake Kozak, man. He's a trip. He's a character. He's a fan favorite. People would say. And when we lived in the dorms, you ask him to do something, he's gonna do it. You tell him not to do something, he's gonna do it. So we're out one day and we went to not cliff jumping, but bridge jumping, right? Or whatever. And after we get done, there's this little fish. And Jake takes the fish out the water and we're like, Jake, what are you doing with the fish? He's like, I'm gonna take it home as a pet. And around this time, it was cold, it was Christmas time almost. And we was gonna go home for break. And he kept the fish for a couple of days, right? And then we were like, so what are y'all gonna do with the fish when everybody go back home for break? Guess what Jake did?
He ate it?
Jake ate the fish.
No, he didn't, bro.
I kid you not. Jake ate the fish.
Raw?
Raw.
Oh,
listening to Lil Baby. And he started rapping the song after. I kid you not.
Shout out my label, that's me.
I kid you not. I kid you not. I'll show y'all the video after this.
No, I'm good.
No, that's crazy.
All right, Tyra, you got a fish story or a car story? You got something along the lines?
Oh, man, I don't know. I've been here for a few months now. The craziest thing I've probably seen since I've been here was we was at the rail yard and it started raining, pouring down. And so, as a normal person, you go under the pavilion and you just sit there. You don't want to get rained on and get wet.
Right.
Tell me why a group of guys, they walk out in the rain, stand there, right? And then all of a sudden they move around and then you know how it's raining on top of the pavilion and then the water starts like a waterfall?
Yeah.
One by one, they sit right under the waterfall and just stand there and the water's just splashing on them. I'm like, what is going on right now? And it was one of the most craziest thing. And a few seconds later, this girl is running and it's slippery on the ground.
Right.
She tried to jump this fence, fell on her face.
Dude,
it was so crazy.
I remember that. That's some Nebraska stuff, though.
It is.
That's something people do in Nebraska, bro.
It is.
Hey, welcome to Nebraska. But hey, y'all been killing this so far. We're gonna head out into our first break here. We'll be back in about 5 minutes.
This is Brian at Midwest Bank, and we've been proudly serving clients in the Lincoln community since 2008, and we're excited to open a second location in January 2024 at 70th and Pioneers Boulevard. Our new branch will provide all the convenient services you're looking for in a bank, along with the friendly staff we're known for. Whether you're starting a business or expanding your business, our team is here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com, member FDIC.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Hay harvest is a race against time. Order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower to harvest your hay quickly and efficiently while promoting quick dry down for high-quality hay. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year. Contact your local Landmark location for full details on a new self-propelled windrower and experience the Landmark difference.
This is where it happens. Long hikes with friends, kayaking adventures with family, more horseback riding, zipline gliding, rock face climbing, hammock camping fun than you could ever imagine. And it's all outdoors, amongst the trees and across the prairie, here beneath Nebraska skies. Plan an outing today at yournebraskaadventure.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Serve Nebraska believes that volunteers are part of what makes Nebraska great. Each year, the Step Forward Awards honors volunteers from across the state who serve their communities in outstanding ways. We hope you'll join us this year at the Step Forward Awards luncheon on October 27th in Omaha. Help us thank volunteers with a celebration to remember. To register, visit serve.nebraska.gov and click Register Now. We hope to see you there. Paid for by Serve Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids. First, I hold my hands out like they're on a steering wheel. Then I look over my shoulder. Next, I put it in reverse. Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
This is Bud Seinhorst, President and CEO of LIBA, the Lincoln Independent Business Association. Join us every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket for the LIBA Business Hour, as we discuss local business and highlight those who are thriving in the Lincoln area. It's the LIBA Business Hour, Saturdays from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
Only thing we should be talking about right now is turnovers. So what if we lose? We don't do anything else. Let's not turn the ball over. Let's see what happens if we play a clean game.
You asked earlier, how many games have they lost by 3? And it's 3 of them. And they've had 12 turnovers in those 3 games. They're minus 7 in those 3 games in the turnover department.
So that's what I mean. Turnovers, you control though. If we can control that, you can get to 6 wins and maybe set yourself up for an exciting Black Friday game against the Iowa no offense Hawkeyes.
Old school with DP and J.
But he goes on this thing, and he gave all this philosophy. But what he would always say rings to all of the stuff from football. He goes, stick to your plan, anticipate, don't improvise. And then he would go. Then he goes further. He goes, trust no one, trust nothing. Fight only the battle you're paid to fight. And I'm just,
if that ain't ring true on that last play, stick to the plan. Do not deviate.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. On the block with Strick and Austin.
You only allow 13 points to Maryland, who's averaging 30. You allow fewer than 400 total yards to an offensive close past that. Great. But I still am left feeling, what if? Is there one more play, one more drive in this defense?
It's tough for me to put the whole onus, and I know you're not, but to put that onus on them.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Back to The Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Niko Project here live every single Sunday from 1 to 2 p.m. Joining me today for any of my new listeners out there is Asheville Addiction and Tyrell Pierce. Ash is a high jumper from Georgia, and Tyrell is a D3 athlete from the university from Florida originally, transferred in from a D3 college from Illinois, and then came here recently this past track and field season as a Division I athlete. So these two gentlemen right here, as I mentioned before, are my roommates, are my track teammates. I see these dudes every single day, so we're all pretty comfortable on this podcast. There's a funny clip I saw this morning when I was scrolling on my phone. It was a podcast clip of dispatchers, or two people talking about dispatchers whenever a situation goes down. And you just got to think about this. I mean, every single day they're getting calls on calls of crazy scenarios, crazy things that are going on. And they are trained to keep their cool in the most craziest of situations, things that, the average person would flip out hearing. And so what is your guys' point of view of when somebody calls in with the most horrific thing, and the first thing that the dispatcher says is you just got to just stay calm. Where are you? Just the basic question. Do you think there should be a reaction like, oh my God, get out of what do you guys think about this?
I'm hanging up.
Hanging what?
I'm hanging up.
As what, the dispatcher?
No. If I'm calling in to the police station and they're giving me a bland answer, they're going to tell me to hold on if there's a serial killer in my house, right? I'm hanging up. And I'm going straight John Wick mode.
Bro, what?
Because bro, at that point, it's okay, now it's me versus Me versus me, because that's what's gonna be at the end
Help
of the day.
is on the way though.
Nah, ain't no help. They're gonna
Nah.
take too long.
Yeah, not quick enough.
I seen too many movies.
What?
You got 7 minutes. You can hide in your house for 7 minutes.
Man, he gonna have to see
I
me. I'm
can't.
rushing him.
7 minutes? I can hide.
I'm rushing him. I ain't hiding.
You rushing?
Yes. I'm showing my dominance.
But what brings you more satisfaction though? If they're on the line freaking out with you, like I got a killer in the house. Oh my God, what are you gonna do? It's like, all right, stay calm. Here's what you got to do. Like,
No.
how do you think it has to go?
Nah, me personally, if I call, hey, what's going on, y'all? I think there's somebody in my house trying to like rob me or something. All right.
Where are you?
Huh?
That's the first
Oh,
question they
yeah,
ask.
bet. Like, where are you? I'm in the house, blah, 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 Boulevard, boom, address. All right, sir. Give me your name and license. Like, he just tell me
they're gonna
everything.
be
Like, bro,
what color shirt is he wearing?
Like, bro,
Like, what?
if you don't get in my house right now, bro.
But they got to build a description. They got to build a profile. Like, who the
Man.
killer is. Maybe they can catch him. Maybe they know something if they're able to look it up.
Man, I'm dropping the low, and if they not there in 3 minutes, it's
John Wick.
John Wick, yeah.
You get
What?
John Wick.
No, that person getting John Wick. I'm being John Wick, and I'm going on wherever he is.
But what do you do though in this situation, right? So like, let's say you're like in the worst case scenario, you're taking a shower, bro, and somebody like there's like on some Pop Smoke stuff. When Pop Smoke ended, like when the intruders came in, he was in the shower and then he was trying to fight them off, literally naked. Like that's how it went. Like, what do you do in that scenario when literally the worst possible time you're in the shower and people pull up on you?
Hey, man, I can't do nothing but pray. You know, I know my soul is with God. You feel me? And if it's my last day, it is what it is.
What's
man.
the first move though? I mean, the first thing you do is get out the shower and you gotta fight. You gotta fight a man.
Okay. So are they coming? My bad, sorry. Go ahead.
No.
Are they coming? Are, like they just walk in, they open the door, and they yelling?
Like you hear swoop, and it's just a dude with the mask and literally like a knife, like coming to jack you.
Me personally, I seen have you ever seen the Three Ninjas? It's a movie, old school movie. You know what I'm talking about?
Yup.
Or I'm gonna be like, what's the name off Home Alone? I already got stuff on my mind.
That's what you do. You turn the water all the way hot, right? Steaming.
Right.
So when they walk in, they're gonna be like, whoa, what's going on?
Foggy.
You feel me?
Foggy.
Right? You hide behind the thing.
Easy.
Walk in.
Come
Bop!
on. Yep.
Dunzo.
Naked.
Hey,
I hope it's just one person.
But
If
man,
it's multiple, then it's all right.
Oh, it's raps.
I'm keeping it a butt though. Like as soon as they come in, like I'm having the shower curtain. I'm like throw it like, over their face, so like blinds no disguise, and then I'm yeah, Mike Tyson.
Hear me.
Yeah, over with.
Home invasions and home intruders. I mean, that's just got to be difficult though. I mean, like if you are in the own likeness of your house and you're just kicking and chilling, the last thing you want to do is probably get up off your couch, bro, and fight somebody fighting for your life. Like they're coming in there with malintentions of taking you off this earth, and you're just chilling in your house. Like that type of surprise. Like I don't know.
Nah. If I'm back home in Atlanta, nah, it's not happening. Trust.
Not going.
Nah. Trust. Y'all know. Yeah,
I know.
Hey, most definitely. All right, okay. Let's go ahead and change topics here real quick. So going back to us as Division I athletes, and we're all ambitious people. We're all setting goals. What are some of your guys' goals, and how do you plan on achieving on this up and coming track season?
I think for me, my biggest goal outside of like just time wise and trying to like get to a certain point is I just want to be an inspiration to others, to us, especially a lot of high schoolers who think like, okay, this is my last season. I'm not getting the big schools that I want. I'm only getting looked at by Division III. It's okay. Because one thing that I learned, it's not how your journey starts, it's how you end it. And you really have to enjoy that process, right? You can't be too worried about your destination. You really have to enjoy the process. And so like, even though I got the goals, like, okay, I want to run 45, I want to go in NCAAs and stuff like that, I have to really enjoy this process and really focus on the process before I can like even think about the destination.
Right.
And I think for me right now, I just want to like be that inspiration to others and like let them know like, hey, I started D3, but look where I'm at. I can compete here. It's not how you started, it's about how you end it. And you just gotta like really just believe and have faith that it can happen.
100.
Kobe Bryant.
You feel me? But for me, honestly, bro, as my sophomore year began, I'm just trying to be like more of a leader than I was last year. I want to be able to like be the best teammate I can be, especially because like the freshmen coming up, they really don't know a lot. They're obviously good athletes. They were like the best athletes in the country. And I just want to be able to be a figure to be able to show them the path, like how Niko and how all the upperclassmen did last year. For me, I just want to be able to be somebody they can look up to. And also, like Tyrell was saying, people back home, they think it's over. They think they're not getting recruited, and it's never over. Especially with track, man. Like track is just a sport where it's like you just gotta hit one mark, man, and then your name's gonna be on the radar. Like for me, bro, I jumped 6'10" with like 3 times. Okay, cool. But I was getting recruited from other Division I schools when I was jumping like 6'8", and my name wasn't out there. So you only get one opportunity. I mean, you don't have one opportunity, but it only takes one opportunity for you to get your name out there. So don't ever give up, man. If there's a will, there's a way. And back to the question you were saying about what I want to do this year. I just want us to, I want people to experience what we experienced, Niko, winning the championship as a team. I want Tyrell to get him a ring. I want all the freshmen, all the transfers to get them a ring, because it's not like it. Because at the end of the day, we're going to get older. We're going to have kids, and we should be able to want to tell our kids, yeah, we won a Big Ten championship. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, my dad went to Nebraska. My dad did that. You feel me? Like, not to boast on myself, but just something to be like proud of,
Yeah.
And just to really like consume and like take in everything that's going on day by day. And like, we can only control what we can control, So I feel like we just gotta be the best teammates we can possibly be, and just see how the year goes, honestly.
Without a doubt. I think both of you guys gave amazing answers. I really like what Tyrell said about, enjoying the journey. I feel like we overlook a lot of that a lot of the times because we get caught up in the numbers and the marks, because track and field, it is a very individualized sport. I mean, as soon as you run a race and as soon as you finish a race, you can go on T-First and look up your times, compare it. Oh, damn, I'm 0.5 slower than I was last week, or I'm a second faster now, but then let's say you don't hit that mark for a while. It's really a mind game. You got to be able to stay kind of level through it all. You got to have your emotions in check. And as you mentioned before, too, getting another championship, getting another Big Ten ring, so that 10, 15 years in the future, we can all be old men looking at this and being like, oh, man, look at this. Like, we got these Big Ten rings. Like, that's something that nobody can ever take away from us,
100.
100%. And for me, and what you mentioned before about, being a leader and inspiring other people, I mean, you never really know what somebody else is going through, too. I mean, even just the most simplest things, just asking how somebody's day is going or checking up on somebody or like giving pointers too. I mean, it really helps, because I remember when I was a freshman in high school, and I don't know this is way back, but I mean, like when a senior or somebody upperclassman would tell me something, whether it was in track or football, like I would listen, bro, because like it's scary. When I first walked through these doors, bro, I was like, oh my gosh, like I was looking for somebody to kind of lead me through, and I was lucky enough to have good people to help lead. So now I'm in that position as a junior, and so it's like, all right, bet, like I got to be that person that people can look up to now.
Facts.
It all comes around full circle
every time,
every single time. And so you guys as people, I mean, we've all have crazy experiences and stuff like that. What's the craziest thing that's ever happened to you guys with a girl? And when I say with a girl, I mean like have you guys ever had a situation to where like you've ever been cheated on, or like some like crazy stuff happened, or anything of that matter? PG for the radio show. Because this is kind of what we go downtown and do interview questions. We kind of ask, relationship issues, like, hey, what's the craziest thing that's happened to you in a relationship? Yada yada yada. But I never got the chance to ask you guys what was yours craziest.
Man. Me personally, I don't really have like a crazy experience for real, because I don't be trying to just talk to any female. But in the past, I did get into a relationship, and I thought it was gonna be like my wife. You feel me? Like I was really fully committed to this girl and everything like that. As a man, when you commit, you spending money on the girl.
Oh wow!
Like taking her on dates and everything like that. You feel me? So like, at this point, it's my money. Like, you feel me?
At that point, you just like, yeah, she the one.
At that point,
she the one. Like,
so like, it's getting to the point where like I'm finna like introduce her to my folks. Like, my parents already know who she is. Right, so that's how like I'm getting serious. I'm talking to my brothers, like, hey, bro, I think that's the one, bro. Like, you feel me? Like, you feel me? But man, like, it's just like, are all these girls the same, bro?
Juice WRLD?
Bro, long live him. But bro, like, she FaceTimed me, bro. And she was wearing her ex's hoodie. What? Blew me, bro.
What? And what'd you say?
Yeah, what'd you say?
I just hung up the phone, bro. I just hung the phone up. It crushed me. I'm not gonna lie.
What?
It crushed me because like I'm fully committed to this girl. And then, you know what she told me?
Huh?
Oh, you can ask my siblings. You're just the first hoodie on top, man. I just put it on. Like, why do you even still even have it? Why do you even still have his clothes even though we're talking?
That's crazy.
Broke my heart.
Broke my heart.
Broke my heart. You think about it, but it's just like, it is what it is, man. There's plenty of fish in the sea. So that's, I guess, my little razzle dazzle on it.
That's tragic.
Man, the craziest thing
Oof.
I don't even know. I probably say like at my old school, I was talking to this one girl.
Yeah.
You know, very beautiful. You know, very like-minded, family-oriented. You know, everything that
Yeah. You're looking for a woman.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? So we've been talking for a while.
Talk to me.
Talking for a while, you know, and then at some point, the thought of like we should make it official popped up in my head. I'm like, but it's like I'm in track season right now. This is like at this moment, I'm like thinking about the transfer portal. So like I'm thinking about I need to get my times faster so I can like go ahead and like get to the schools that I want to.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I'm really locked in.
Yeah.
But then I still have her. So it's like,
yeah.
But she was really cool about it. And so I think we made it official in January. And everything was going good. Everything was going really good. Booed up, you know. Everything that you can like ever dream about, you know.
Yeah.
And Division 3 indoor national is about to come up.
Right.
And so like out of nowhere, the day before it's time for me to get on the plane to head to the nationals.
Right.
She breaks up with me.
Over text?
Huh? No, in person. In person. So now I'm on the plane. I'm kind of sad. Cause you know, let me tell you something.
Kinda.
I'm a lover boy.
Certified.
And so like, you feel me? Drake, certified, CLB. That's me.
That's me.
And so like,
No,
I'm on the
it's
plane. I'm kind of sad. I'm just thinking about it. Like my mind is not in the right headspace.
Right.
And like in 24 hours, I'm about to run like prelims for the 400.
Biggest race of your life.
And so like, I'm like at that point, I kind of like switched. And like now I'm on my future phase. Like, you know, like at that point, I just didn't really care. I had to lock in. And I think that was just the craziest thing. Cause like, how can you like lead somebody on? And then, you know, like if you're going to break up with somebody, don't do it like
their biggest race.
You know what I'm
of their
saying?
life.
Like you could have just waited until I got back from Natty's. But you want to do it the day before. That's crazy.
Marvin's room.
Play that 24/7.
I know
the
it,
entire
bro.
plane ride.
Oh no.
Hey.
On repeat.
Oh,
I already know it.
So y'all got some crazy stuff. I mean, mine is pretty comparable to both y'all's. I feel like I got a taste of both. I mean, for me, mine was I got the girl because I ran a good race. Like I ran a race that got me to go D1. And so like I was being hyped up everywhere, bro. Like all these, you know, track Instagrams were reposting me. Everybody like knew in Illinois because I broke this big like state record we had. And so I'm like, oh, I'm feeling like I'm him, bro. I'm up, blah, blah, blah. And then this girl who was another D1 athlete, she came to my team, you know, she was like, blah, blah, blah. We like hung out the whole entire week. I'm thinking we're like about to be official. And I'm like, oh yeah, like life's amazing right now. Like I felt like what you said, you like everything it should be. It felt like it was amazing. And then next thing you know, I go to Tennessee to go race, or Virginia. I go to Virginia to race at indoor nationals for high school. And then I lose to a guy that is pretty respectable within the state of Illinois, and he went to her school. So I lose that race, and immediately I text her after, and she's like, we need to talk. She's like, I just don't feel the same. Like, how are you? Blah, blah, blah.
What?
Not even a month later, bro, she starts dating that guy that beat me in the race, bro. And I ended up talking to her later in the future, and she said it was because of that race. Like, that's why she came on, bro.
Bro.
Crazy.
See, that's the crazy thing nowadays. Like, bro, like, that's why I don't be trying to tell girls that I'm an athlete. Because as soon as they hear athlete, it turns them on 10 times more. Like, it's like, it just boosts, like, attribute. And I get it, okay, cool, you did athlete, cool. But like you said, as soon as you, like, you downfall, they're gone. Like, see, like, me personally, have you ever watched a LeBron movie or documentary where he met his wife?
I did, yeah. High School Sweetheart?
High School Sweetheart, I need that.
She wasn't going for him at first.
Bro, she wasn't even going.
Wasn't.
Now they married with kids.
Bron.
Now he's the second greatest player of all time.
That's facts.
What?
Second greatest player of all time.
Second?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Really top 3.
No.
Michael Jordan.
He's definitely better than Michael Jordan.
LeBron.
You said Michael Jordan?
Kobe, LeBron.
Why?
Man, Kobe and Michael Jordan the same person.
I think Kobe got third for sure.
What? I don't think Kobe got third.
What?
Come on, bro.
Why?
What? LeBron.
Right.
MJ.
Okay.
Like that third spot belongs to like.
Are you putting it as like stat star, or are you putting over influence? Like influence, I think MJ got that.
100%.
Influence,
100%.
MJ still first.
Whose shoes you wear every day?
Exactly. People are dying over Jordan.
No way, you just basing this off of shoes.
I'm not.
We're talking about influence though,
bro.
We're not just stat packing.
Nah.
What? If you're talking about influence, then it's Curry.
What?
Wait, you don't say the 3-point. Please don't just say the 3-point.
Influence. I promise you, when you shoot the ball, what you say, Curry? Stop.
No, what happened when everybody said Kobe though?
Facts. Come on now.
Got Curry.
Come on
like
now.
2016.
Come on now.
Stop, bro.
Come on now.
Why you think everybody's shooting 3-pointers now?
Bro, because it's a 3-point. That's the game.
But you're not.
What?
When I, say,
I get what you're saying. Curry changed the game, but people are going to do that regardless.
Listen, Milo, when I say influence, though, think about what he changed in the 90s, bro, when he first came to Chicago.
That's what I'm
Nobody
saying.
has ever attempted to dunk from the free throw line before Jordan. Ever.
Come on, bro.
What? Somebody did it before Jordan.
Man,
No,
come
bro.
on,
What do you
bro.
think Jordan
time
got
ever.
it from?
What are you
Man,
talking
come
about?
on,
Jordan
bro.
made that.
Air Jordan.
No.
Air Jordan, bro.
What was the best Space Jam?
LeBron.
What?
Man, stop talking, bro. Come on, man. See, that's my problem. Like, I live with him, and every time the Lakers play, you know what my problem is? When people will say, "Oh, I'm a Heat fan," right? Okay, cool. Bron leaves. Oh, I'm a Cleveland fan. What? They're LeBron fans.
Oh,
And
you're throwing shots.
yeah, I am.
I
So,
saw
yeah,
an
I am.
Instagram post the other day. It said, "Would you rather have $400,000 or unfollow LeBron on Instagram?" And bros in the comments like, "I cannot unfollow my glorious king LeBron." He's
Bro,
like,
that's the
400,000
thing,
is
bro.
nothing.
Bro.
That could change his career. I feel like that's you.
He's the best player like ever.
How?
Like, what?
How?
It's LeBron.
How?
Longevity.
He don't,
Longevity.
bro.
He
Okay,
changed the
okay.
game.
Pause,
Bro.
pause. Okay, go ahead. I'm for the spit some facts. Go ahead.
Let's listen.
Go ahead, Tar.
Bro.
Say it.
3-1 comeback lead.
Okay,
Never
cool.
done before.
Okay, cool.
That's all I gotta say.
All right. When has LeBron
3
ever
for
been
7.
in the MLB and did great things?
What?
That is a crazy take, Ash. That's a crazy take.
Talking about. What was the best team NJ played in the finals?
How many rings does he have?
It don't matter. Just say
How
the
many
be-
defensive
no,
players
no,
does he have?
no. Just say the best team that.
How many MVPs does he have?
No, just say the best team that MJ played in the finals.
What's his best record?
Just say the best team that MJ played in the finals.
Bro, you're finna say, bro. Dude, you
If,
gotta
if
understand, but you
MJ
gotta
would have played
understand-
that Golden State team that had Curry, KD, Clay, and Draymond,
It's a different time though.
Okay, you gotta understand the difficulty is so much different now, bro. You touch him, it's a foul. Them boys back there was elbowing, bro. Nobody in the league, bro.
Bad
you
boy
don't know who they was
Pistons?
playing back. The Pistons, bro. The Trailblazers was dogs. Like you gotta understand the Celtics, bro.
Carl
All them
Malone.
dudes
bro,
were hard.
LeBron is 6'9",
The
260.
Pistons, like
If he was playing back then, bro, come
Man,
on now.
come
But it wasn't though. Hold on. We got something coming in from the text line. I got Jordan was the first free throw dunk. Oh, Julius Erving.
Thank you.
Was the first.
Thank
free throw
you.
dunk,
Come on now.
and
What you-
MJ is the GOAT. They say MJ is the GOAT. Though.
thank you.
What? That got to be old head.
No, it's probably, bro. You gotta think though. Like, even if you put the stats together, okay, cool. And you said longevity, bro. Back then they didn't have this technology. We're in the what century? In the 20th century or whatever. I mean LeBron. I mean Michael Jordan. But anyway, you know what I'm saying.
LeBron.
He's spending millions of dollars on his body. You gotta understand that, Ty.
Bro, all right.
Michael Jordan
all right,
played with the flu and had one of the best games of his season.
Okay.
ever. Like,
Take all the
And you-
stats. Okay,
what?
take all the stats away from LeBron from like the last 5 years. LeBron's stats are still better. Like, come on now.
Hey, but check it
And
out.
what?
What
Check
is
it
your
out, though.
reasoning?
And no,
What is-
Less
like-
hear me out. Here, less is more though. Think about it. What Jordan accomplished in a lesser period of time. Take away the stats thing. LeBron's probably going to play for another 5 years. Knowing
exactly.
him, it's almost like a Tom Brady thing. I mean, he's going to break all his records because he's in the league more.
Udonis Haslem.
But I can't let you guys go on until I got to send us the break here. We can pick this up in about 5 minutes. But last statement being said, I got MJ. I'm just saying, I got MJ.
Clearly.
Living life to its fullest is just a free consultation away. If you're living with symptoms that you can't shake, then bring your low energy, brain fog, belly fat, grumpiness, muscle loss, and low libido to Limitless Male. We have the expertise to get rid of your symptoms. This is what Limitless Male does all day, every day. You won't find another men's clinic like Limitless Male. We know what you're going through. We know how to fix it. Schedule a free consult at limitlessmale.com.
Serve Nebraska believes that volunteers are part of what makes Nebraska great. Each year, the Step Forward Awards honors volunteers from across the state who serve their communities in outstanding ways. We hope you'll join us this year at the Step Forward Awards luncheon on October 27th in Omaha. Help us thank volunteers with a celebration to remember. To register, visit serve.nebraska.gov and click Register Now. We hope to see you there. Paid for by Serve Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive. Always honest answers.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it twice a day.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it in the morning and before dinner.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it, and share it with my doctor. Nearly 1 in 2 U.S. adults have high blood pressure. That's why it's important to self-monitor your blood pressure in 4 easy-to-remember steps. It starts with a monitor.
Now that I know my blood pressure numbers, I talked with my doctor. We're getting those numbers down.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it. Be next to talk to your doctor about your blood pressure numbers. Get down with your blood pressure. Self-monitoring is power. Learn more at manageyourbp.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the American Heart Association, and the American Medical Association, in partnership with the Office of Minority Health and Health Resources and Services Administration.
This is where it happens. Long hikes with friends, kayaking adventures with family, more horseback riding, zipline gliding, rock face climbing, hammock camping fun than you could ever imagine. And it's all outdoors, amongst the trees and across the prairie, here beneath Nebraska skies. Plan an outing today at yournebraskaadventure.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? By their clothes, their age, the way they speak? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
Or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? Or a 14-year-old girl who signs up to every after-school activity, not to make friends, but just to get something to eat? Or a retiree who fell ill and had to choose
between getting medicine or groceries.
I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew were hungry. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here for the last segment of the Niko Project, live here every single Sunday from 1 to 2 p.m. I'm here with Astro Dixon and Tyrell Pierce, both of my close track and field teammates and roommates here at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. And for our listeners who are just now joining in, we were into a pretty heated debate about who is the top 3 or who is the GOAT in the NBA all-time list. And we were mentioning about Jordan being number 1. My boy Tyrell over here was talking about how he thinks LeBron's number 1 based upon stats. Go ahead and send it to the text line who you believe is the GOAT. My personal preference, I definitely believe that Michael Jordan is the GOAT just based upon influence. I was born in 2002, but all anybody ever talks about nowadays is Michael Jordan. But I really want to hear Tyrell's stance other than the stat line, because LeBron has been playing a lot longer than MJ has. What other attributes does LeBron bring to the table that makes him the GOAT over MJ in all aspects?
Whatever team that LeBron joins,
right,
no matter what team that is, they're going straight to the finals.
They didn't even make the playoffs like 2 years ago, did they?
No. That streak ended up coming to a close a little bit after like the Warriors era. But yes, when he went to Cleveland, he did reconstruct that entire team. He did have a young Kyrie Irving.
Who else? Kyle Korver. Bro, you got to start understanding Kevin Love, J.R. Smith, these boys are good. Tristan Thompson, they're good.
But yes, you got to get.
Bro, you can't give me, bro, come on.
But no, the
first casting was terrible.
But check it out, though. Check it out. What LeBron was doing in Miami too with Chris Bosh. He had who was Ray Allen, and then he also had Dwayne Wade too,
and Mario Chalmers.
I mean that team was exactly. But he was getting, the Spurs were not leaving him alone. The Celtics were not leaving him alone. It was very tough for him. I think that's why he ended up leaving to Cleveland to go back, because he ended up leaving Cleveland originally when he came in as a rookie. He left Cleveland, went to Miami, got his chip, went back to Cleveland, and gave it back to Cleveland. Now he is 1-3. They went to the finals 3 years in a row, correct? He only won one of those off that 3-1 comeback. Yes, that is amazing.
100.
But Jordan has never lost a final.
It's rigged.
Or ever went to a game 7.
I just feel like,
come on now.
I just feel like, you look at Jordan NBA career, his first 6 seasons, he didn't make it past the first round.
But people don't talk about that though.
And then, all right, you finally get Pippen, you get Rodman, and you get Phil Jackson. By the way, greatest coach of all time.
Because of what he did on the Bulls.
At that point, that team was constructed around MJ perfectly, and you have the greatest coach of all time. Like, how can you lose when you're going against some bum teams in the NBA Finals?
Come on, bro.
Their greatest team in the NBA Finals was the Utah Jazz, which was a 39-year-old Karl Malone and a 40-year-old John Stockton.
Karl Malone was a dog.
Pause. And you want to know it's crazy how whenever we make these top 10 lists, we're not putting nobody from this new era in there. It's always old school. Besides, like, maybe KD or Curry in that discussion.
Bro, you just said Bill Russell was like top 5.
Bill Russell, is he not in the top 10 though? Is he not in the top 10?
Bill Russell?
Okay, if you want to say the best center, okay, it's Hakeem Olajuwon in my opinion. I'm biased. I'm a Rockets fan. But you got to understand, when people make a discussion about the top 10, top 15 list, it's majority of old school.
He's not wrong.
Well, duh, because we got to give these time. Wait, what?
Bro.
You got to wait for other players to retire.
But you got to understand, these boys are getting to the point where they retire. Curry's probably going to retire in a couple years.
And he's top 10.
Kawhi's probably going to retire in a couple years. Paul George, they're going to retire. KD, they're probably going to retire in a couple years.
Top 5 point guard of all time.
Yes, I agree.
Not top 5 player of all time.
Not at all. Curry might be the number 1 point guard. Well, true point guard, I don't know. I'll have to get that to maybe no, I'm not gonna say that. That's a hot take.
You said Magic? Say it.
No, I wasn't gonna say Magic, but when I'm thinking about point guard, I'm thinking of somebody that's like Rajon Rondo, prime.
Rajon Rondo.
Yeah, prime. Not saying he is, but that's what I'm looking at. Somebody that's gonna facilitate, not looking to score all the time. That can go for 20 assists.
Yeah, he's like a 10 times better Chris Paul, in my opinion.
That's crazy.
Me? No. That's the first person I thought at the top of my head. That's the first person I thought at the top of my head. No, but ideal point guard. That's what I'm looking for. Curry, he can do it all. That's in the true 2. Clay.
Yeah, that's who LeBron had to face in the finals. You know what I'm saying,
bro? And I'm not saying that was a bad team, but what I'm saying, that 3-1 comeback is rigged.
How about this? Switch the roles, right?
Right.
So MJ.
Yes, Michael
played
Jordan
on the Cleveland.
Yes, Michael Jordan.
He played on the Heat, the Lakers.
Yes.
His record will probably be worse than what LeBron was right now. I promise you. 100%.
Bro, there would be games where Jordan was going for like 60, bro. 50 and 40, like consistently.
Easy.
Like he was averaging damn near 40.
Easy.
He still won't have beat that Golden State team.
Come on, bro. Let's be real.
Yeah, let's be real.
All right, we're going to go ahead and close out this podcast, but it has been one heck of a heated debate. Here's my 2 friends here inside of the studio. Guys, go ahead and give a shout out or just close out this podcast for me and what it's been to be on the show tonight.
Hey, man, it's your boy Astro Dixon, man. I enjoyed today here at 93.7 The Ticket, man. Hope to come here more often, do some more podcasts. Probably not talk about the whole Michael Jordan, LeBron debate with Tyrell because he's a bias. But in all, I enjoyed it. I couldn't have had more time tonight. You know
what I'm saying? Good times. I love coming here, talking, teammates, roommates. Gotta love it.
Awesome, man. Thank you for being on the show tonight. Goodbye.
Man, you so...
What a day. I could sure use an afternoon pick-me-up. Hold up. The new 93.7 The Ticket location has a milk, coffee, and tea inside? Oh, yeah. This is a game changer.
Need an afternoon pick-me-up? How about a coffee or smoothie on your way to work? Stop by the Ticket Mill location on 1040 O Street to get your go-to drink or try out our new game day drinks exclusive to the Ticket Mill location. We know it'll make your day a million times better.
So what's this new concept happening at 1040 O Street? There's 93.7 The Ticket, there's the Mill Coffee and Tea, and there's Grandma's Bake Shop and Beatrice Bakery? Well, yeah, it's all of those things. It's a place for the community to hang out, grab a drink and a bite, and just chill, or work, or meet, or chat, or whatever you want to do. 93.7 The Ticket, The Mill Coffee and Tea, Grandma's Bake Shop, and Beatrice Bakery. All together at 1040 O Street.
Getting experience to jumpstart a meaningful career can be difficult, and education can cost a fortune. Luckily, AmeriCorps can be the solution. With AmeriCorps, you'll earn a stipend and education award while helping people. Plus, you'll gain professional skills and make connections to help you build your career. If you're ready to start a career you can be proud of, visit serve.nebraska.gov/service to find a program for you. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
How was your drive to school?
Let me tell you, I had to get my iced coffee first. I just can't seem to put it down. My favorite rapper just announced a tour. My phone was buzzing like crazy. I'm so excited. I had to text all my friends right then to talk about it. Then someone started calling me and...
Let's try that again.
I turned my phone off right away. I never drive distracted.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Serve Nebraska believes that volunteers are part of what makes Nebraska great. Each year, the Step Forward Awards honors volunteers from across the state who serve their communities in outstanding ways. We hope you'll join us this year at the Step Forward Awards luncheon on October 27th in Omaha. Help us thank volunteers with a celebration to remember. To register, visit serve.nebraska.gov and click Register Now. We hope to see you there. Paid for by Serve Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hey, it's me, your cell phone. We need to talk about something serious. I know you love me. I know you like using me wherever you are, but I feel like this isn't working out when you're driving. I know you may think that it's possible to focus both on me and the road, but I just don't feel the same way. I think we should spend time away from each other when you're driving. It's for the best.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
The dangers of secondhand smoke are well known, but what about secondhand aerosol, which is created when using e-cigarettes? Science already shows a secondhand aerosol can contain nicotine, heavy metals, and cancer-causing agents. Eliminating exposure to secondhand aerosol is an important step to keeping everyone safe. Breathe easier knowing the facts.
For help quitting, call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Live from the heart of Lincoln, America. Welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Back live every single Sunday to the Niko Project, live from 2 to 3 p.m. I had a previous show that was live from 1 to 3 p.m. You can go ahead and check it out on any social media platform if you're interested in watching that. Today, right now, I have one of my close friends. Her name is Yeva Turk. Yeva has been a Nebraska track and field athlete here for about the past 5 years. I've had her on one of my previous podcasts my freshman year. And she's all in all just an amazing person and was an amazing track and field athlete. She currently is in an attempt to become a professional athlete for Latvia. She is a triple jumper. And so she has about 2 or 3 Big Ten titles to her name. Probably butchered that a little bit. But she's had a great and very successful career here. She was working to become a nutritionist, I believe. Dietitian. I apologize. Here at the university. And so, yeah, Yeva, how are you feeling about being on the show today?
Good. Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me.
Of course.
You know, it's been a while. I've been wanting to come on here. You know, I'm just a busy women. You know,
I know how
going
it is.
on.
You're trying to be a pro athlete. You're trying to get a job. You're trying to create some side hustles, create content. We got a lot of great topics to cover here today. But first things first, I want to go ahead and get you the proper introduction. So go ahead and tell the people, you know, what's your story? How did you get to the University of Nebraska? What type of success have you had here? And then we can go ahead and jump into what you're currently doing.
Okay, sweet. So, as you mentioned, my name is Eva, and I'm an international, student here at UNL from Latvia. And so I've been in the United States now for 7 years, which is crazy. The time has
That's
been,
insane.
I know, the time has been flying by so fast. This year I finished, track, so I'm an alumni now. I am finishing my master's degree now in December, so super excited about that. Just excited to, dive into more of my professional life as well. I've been a student for so long.
Right.
And I mean, school's been now my safe place in a sense, so it is a little bit scary to kind of get out there.
Yeah.
But
The
like I
real
told you,
world.
I secured a job interview already. So it is exciting. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, like as I mentioned before, I mean, what was it? Two Big Ten championships or three individual Big Ten championships you've
Yeah,
added
I've
to your name?
won Big Tens twice now in triple jump, both indoors. Somehow I've always been injured outdoors. Not always, but you know how things happen, with injuries and stuff.
Yeah,
It's
100%.
always the worst.
Yeah. And so it's pretty funny though, when you were first recruited from Latvia to come to the United States to come and compete here for Nebraska, I believe that you were recruited originally to be a high jumper. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. So in 2016, I competed at World Junior Championships, and I placed second. And that's how UNL found me and reached out to me on Facebook, and basically, asked me if I would want to come and study and do track in the United States. And
Right.
I always knew I wanted to come to the United States because they just have, better facilities, more opportunities here. So I was super excited about that. So yeah, they reached out to me and I was like, even without the visit, I'm just like, I'm coming.
It's my into the United States. Let's go. We're ready.
Yeah. And I didn't even know of Nebraska before.
Right.
But I mean, I fell in love with the city, and honestly, it's been not a huge change because I would say, I mean, the people here are super nice. So everybody was so nice to me and so inviting and supportive. So I mean, it's been amazing.
Yeah. And yeah, like I said, nonetheless, I mean, you've had a great career here. School, you've adapted well, and time does fly. I mean, you're 7 years here at the university. You're pursuing your master's right now, and that is something I want to kind of talk about. I want to talk about in this podcast. Life after track. What about your personal journey? It is something that you probably wish you would have known competing while still in college. There's a lot of different aspects we can go about this, but right now, so right when you finished your career here at University of Nebraska, and you made that decision to go pro. How has training been for you? I know you were dealing with some injuries, as you mentioned before. Outdoor season, for some reason, always brings a little bit of injuries. And so talk about your latest one. I believe it was, what, is your knee? You had to get surgery for that?
Yes. So this summer after competing, I got a knee scope surgery. And now it's been around 3 months post surgery, and I'm starting to finally feel like myself again a little bit. But it was hard. Like my whole last year here at UNL, I was struggling with this knee injury, and nobody really was figuring out what it was. And I was just kind of pushing through the pain and stuff like that. But I just felt like the last year I had so much more to give. That's why I felt like I just couldn't stop and I had to keep going. And I would say I always knew I wanted to pursue, sports after college. I just didn't never knew how it would look like, and I didn't even know I would be here in the United States still.
Right.
But I mean, this is something I've always wanted to do is, to compete even after college and things like that. So now I'm just kind of, yeah, just starting to get back into things. Honestly, it's personally feels so much better that I don't have the pressure anymore of like you have to compete, in January, you start in January. Now I just have more freedom to just compete when I feel good, when my body feels good. I don't have to push myself
Exactly.
anymore, like through injuries and things like that. So I feel like my mental has been just better and feeling
Exactly.
better.
You're not on no time constraint. You don't got to travel
Yeah.
on a certain amount of time. There's not like a scholarship or some type of standard you're being held to by your coaches. I mean, everything is based upon you. And so with that too, I mean, there comes a lot of, in college, everything is so structured. You got a specific time, you got to go here. You got training table food whenever you got treatment. Now things are a bit unstructured. You're on your own schedule. As you mentioned before, you closed up a job interview in December. Congratulations, by the way.
Thanks.
And so, like, obviously, at the same time, you're trying to build your professional career as a normal working human being. on top of trying to become the best, athlete you can be. On top of that, you want to be a professional athlete. You want to compete with the best of the best. So what does your kind of day-to-day schedule look like?
Yeah, it is hard. So most of the days of the week now, I am almost working. I'm interning at different places. So a part of my master's program, we have to complete, I believe, 1,200 hours of just practical, going in and working, like practical experience.
Jeez.
So now I'm working or, studying, learning my experiences for like 28 hours a week, which, is not a full time job, but, more than a part time job.
Right.
So after that, then I have to find time for training, like you said, recovery, all of that, have to get good sleep. It has been a struggle. For example, if I'm working from 8 to 4 and then, finding time to lift in the morning before that and then, practice after that. So it's almost like a full day of
Exactly.
things. And then I have to find time for myself as well. So it is tough to balance it, but I think if you have the motivation and you have the drive, then you can, make things happen. So I've just been kind of holding on to that dream that I have in my heart, of competing professionally and hopefully competing for my country down the road. So just kind of, looking at that goal and just working towards it has really helped me just not get burned out, I guess.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I remember, when we went to regionals last year together, and unfortunately, neither of us had made it to nationals. That was our goal, to try to make it to
I
nationals
know.
together. And the first thing you told me, like, man, it was just frustrating because I definitely feel as though I had more in the tank. And I told you too, I was like, listen, like, you can't write yourself off. Yeah, I mean, you're never going to be this young again. You're in the best shape of your life. Why not just, see where things go, get the surgery, heal up, and see where things take you next year? And so, what keeps you disciplined and motivated to, go through this vigorous schedule every single day, to wake up in the morning, go lift, put your body through this pain, to go to work, do everything? I mean, what gets you out of bed?
Like I told you, I think it's just the goal I have and the dream I have.
Mhm.
And I do believe that God put this dream in my heart to just kind of follow it and get after it. So I would say, every time I wake up, it's like a new opportunity. You can make anything out of your day, right? So every time I wake up, I just kind of remember the dream I have and just kind of get after it, kind of write down the goals that I have for myself. And every time I wake up, I just think about those, and that really helps me. It's all about
Amazing.
setting goals. Like, yeah, you're big on that too.
I'm really big on that. We can even get into that a little bit too. I mean, when you're setting your goals and you're writing things out, something before me and my previous host guests were talking about was, it's not about the goal, it's about the journey of everything in between. And so now when I write out my goals, it's kind of what I think about. I think about my day to day. What does it take for me to kind of find myself within this process too? Because I feel like a lot of people do get fixated on the end goal. Maybe your end goal is, sign with a professional company or reach a specific mark. And I used to be the same way. I used to be like, all right, I want to run this time. And if I don't run this time, I'm a failure. Like, everything I did doesn't matter. Like, all the work I put in didn't matter. But when in reality, me putting in the work and me dedicating all this time and making all these sacrifices for this, that was the goal. That was the dream.
Yeah.
And like, you got to give yourself more credit. And that's
Yeah.
just kind of like statement. Like, are you the same way? Is that how your mind kind of works?
Yeah, I mean, you have to enjoy the struggle in a sense, right? With
Right.
track, you have to enjoy those hard practices because if you don't, then it's gonna be tough for you.
Right.
It's gonna be hard.
100%.
So that's something I genuinely enjoy having a hard practice and feel like it just feels I feel accomplished after it. And even like being sore, I love the feeling of being sore because in my sense, I'm like in my head, I'm like, yeah, like I worked hard at practice.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. So you have to really enjoy the struggle because without the struggle, it's gonna be, you're not gonna know what's gonna bad.
No
Yeah.
pain, no gain.
Yeah.
No,
Definitely.
exactly. That statement it definitely holds true. And something else
Yeah.
I would like to talk to you about is, every single day, every single time we wake up, I mean, we do wake up with like a different, mindset, different emotional state. And even throughout this entire training process, our goals, everything that we're trying to accomplish, some days we're super happy, super motivated. Some days we're kind of in the middle, and some days we just absolutely don't want to do it and don't want to go and accomplish our goals. And they say that the days that you really don't want to do it, and when you force yourself to do it, those are the days you get 10 times better because, a lot of your competition on some of those days, they decide to quit, throw in the towel. They don't want to do it no more. how do you kind of stay level between all of it? Because you as a person, something I've noticed with you is you're very level through it all. You're not too happy, you're not too upset when something bad happens. You're just always kind of lingering right in the middle in this this very balanced emotional state. How do you keep your mind just kind of just like simmering like that?
Yeah, I know we've talked about it. You've asked me advice before.
Exactly. It's hard. It's very hard.
I think it is important to just be disciplined, right? So some days you're going to have more motivation than other days, right? So you
Right.
have to be disciplined, right? Even on the days where you feel like you just don't want to do anything, you kind of just wake up and kind of go through the motions and stuff. But if you have a good routine and you're just, disciplined enough to keep going, I think that really helps me not have those super ups and downs because I try not to go with just my feelings and emotions,
Mhm.
right? So that has helped me a lot. Just and discipline is something you have to really, acquire over the years. It can be hard because yes, motivation is not always going to be there, So
100%.
that's when discipline and routine kind of takes over. And again, like you said, reminding yourself of the goals and the dreams that you have, and that kind of just helps me not have those super high ups and downs, and just kind of sitting with yourself sometimes and really, reminding yourself of those, and kind
Reminding
of
yourself of why you started.
why you started, and yeah.
Yeah, that is something that, I still even to this day, I'm trying. I've gotten better over the years. Like I said, I've known you since my freshman year, and that's always something we kind of talked about was like, like how do you stay level through it all? I mean, when I was a freshman, you were a junior, when you were a senior, I believe, or
Yeah.
somewhere around there.
Wait, how old are you?
I'm 20, I'm about to turn 21.
Yeah, I might have been a junior or a senior.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something like all I know is that, I saw you every single day. I saw what you accomplished in the past. And I was like, dang, like my goal one day is my end all be all goal was to become a Big Ten champion. And like that was my first goal when I originally walked in here. And then like everything in between that has just been a complete roller coaster of emotions. I've had a lot of different coaching changes. I've had a lot of physical injuries, a lot of mental ups and downs, a lot of mental swings and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, like how do you stay through, like true to yourself through it all? And like you've always been a person to lean on. It's like you know what to do in this like scenario. And that is actually something else we talked about in our old podcast too, is about like finding somebody to look up to, somebody that inspires you. And what is my question to you is what inspires you and who is that person that you look up to? I'm not sure if you follow any professional athletes, or it doesn't even have to be an athlete. It has to be, could be somebody close to you in your life. Maybe it's your parents, friends, family. Who's that person that you look up to in times of defeat?
Yeah, I would say my grandpa, because my grandpa is honestly the only reason why I'm doing track.
He pushed you to do it?
Yeah, basically when I was like 7, 8 years old, he brought me to my coach back home, and he introduced me, into track and stuff. And because of him, I do what I do. And basically, when I was younger, every morning, he woke me up and I was doing jump rope at like 6 a.m. before going to school.
Wow.
He was really pushing me beyond my limits, I would say. And so, I mean, he was also like a big advocate for me to come to United States. And I know it was hard for him to let me go because of how much, he loves me and he wants to be around me. But I felt like he really saw the potential in me. And, my parents did also, but I would say my grandpa was always there for me. He always came to all of my meets. And he has told me in the past too that he would just love to see me on the TV competing. And honestly, I think that also is something that really fuels my drive to keep going, because I just know how important it is for him. And so in a sense, I'm really trying to get after this goal to for him to kind of live out this dream too of like seeing me on the big screen and competing. So yeah, I would say I really look up to my grandpa because he's also given me some just, good life advice. And whenever I talk to him, he just like calms me down and kind of brings me back down to earth sometimes when I'm feeling down. So he's definitely something I've, really just looking up to, and somebody I can always call. So it's good to have that family and the support that he's given me. So super excited to go home for Christmas and see him.
Finally. The older generation, I feel like, is so
Yeah.
wise. They have so much
Yeah.
experience and stuff like that. Like I remember when I was younger, there was a bit of a disconnect between me and my grandpas, but then all of a sudden, like as I got older and they started saying things to me, I'm like, dang, like you're onto something. Like I know, the way they speak and when they share their experiences, it's like, dang, like we are so different because of the generation we're living in, but at the same time too, they're spitting game.
Yeah, and I mean, I can relate. Like, looking back, I remember myself, I was just hating it, hating waking up every morning. But now looking back, I'm like grateful. Like, I'm
Exactly.
thankful you did that,
My
because
kids are
now
gonna be
I
doing
feel
it.
like honestly, the discipline I have now also comes from him, right?
Right.
Like waking up early in the morning, just getting your stuff done, and that just comes from him disciplining me too when I was younger. So can be thankful for him for that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
People do say that who you hang around with is kind of like where your future is going to be, and it's almost a self hypnosis in a sense. What you tell yourself every single day, who you're hanging your time around with. If you're hanging your time around with people who are successful, who are people that are smarter than you, what's going to happen in the future is you're going to mold yourself into that. And obviously, the same goes that if you do the opposite of that, if you hang out with people who aren't as smart as you, who are making dumb decisions, the same thing's going to happen. And so, but I feel like that's very difficult for me to understand too, because I have people like who I'm associated with, but at the same time, like I'm a very independent person by myself. Like I find myself, going days even sometimes where I'm just kind of in my own zone, doing my own thing. And even you as well. I mean, you got so many different things. These workouts you're doing them all alone now. Like what person are you looking up to, or person are you like becoming when you're training alone if you don't have nobody else around you? Like how does that work? Like what's your mindset on that?
Yeah. It has been hard training by myself, but I do still have a lot of people around me, like even my, teammates, the jumps team, they're always there to support me too. And right now I would say the main person who, still pushes me is probably Coach Johnson.
Shout out Coach Johnson.
Yes, yes. He just, I don't know, he like motivates me so much too. Like he always gives me these pep talks, and even at the times I feel like, okay, like what are you talking about? Like it really does help me. And he, keeps me accountable now to, practice, and he writes my workout plans now. And so I'm also, he puts, his trust in me. So I'm not working just for myself, but also for him, because, having a coach, you kind of work together. So it's not just, you independently, you guys work together. And so he's somebody now that keeps me accountable with working out by myself. But, it has definitely been a struggle, because if you are working out together with people, they push you, right? And they help you. And now I just have to be that person for myself in a sense, which is not bad. But I would definitely love to have a training partner.
Yeah.
But as of now, I just have to make it out of what I have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where you find out who you really are in a sense. When you're going every single day by yourself, going on this like journey. I mean, you're gonna look back at this and be like, wow, like I'm really glad I did put in the time for this. I'm really glad that I pushed myself through these times of mysteriousness and just you didn't know the future. I feel like those are the times where you really just find out who you are. And so, yeah, well, you've been killing this podcast so far. We're gonna send us the break and be back in about 5 minutes.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman postgame show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran, for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman postgame show, sponsored by Tanner's Bar and Grill, Vinny Kreekak, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Whether it's playing on a sports team or creating art, it's important to encourage your kids to explore their interests. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. Let your child know you believe in their passions. It can contribute to your child's focus and improve the quality of their schoolwork, too. So show that budding scientist some encouragement by helping them with an experiment, or play catch with your baseball enthusiast.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
First, I hold my hands out like they're on a steering wheel. Then I look over my shoulder. Next, I put it in reverse.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
The dangers of secondhand smoke are well known. But what about secondhand aerosol, which is created when using e-cigarettes? Science already shows a secondhand aerosol can contain nicotine, heavy metals, and cancer-causing agents. Eliminating exposure to secondhand aerosol is an important step to keeping everyone safe. Breathe easier knowing the facts.
For help quitting, call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them?
By their clothes,
Their age?
the way they speak. Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
I'm Christy. I used to smoke cigarettes. I had smoker's cough and severe shortness of breath, and I knew I had to quit. Then I tried e-cigarettes, but I just ended up using both. I really didn't start to get better until I quit smoking completely. My tip to you is just cutting down on the number of cigarettes you smoke isn't enough.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? By their clothes, their age, the way they speak? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? Or a 14-year-old girl who signs up to every after-school activity, not to make friends, but just to get something to eat? Or a retiree who fell ill and had to choose
between getting medicine or groceries.
I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew were hungry. I am Hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one, all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids. First, I hold my hands out like they're on a steering wheel. Then I look over my shoulder. Next, I put it in reverse. Beep, beep, beep.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Back to The Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, everybody. We're back here live at the Niko Project every single 2 to 3 p.m. live every single Sunday. Joining me here today is one of my close friends, Yeva Turk. Yeva is a former Nebraska track and field athlete. She specialized in the triple jump, and currently she is in pursuit of becoming a professional athlete. She is from Latvia, and she studied, oh my gosh, I'm going to mess this up again. Nutritionist. She studied to be a dietitian. Dietitian. I keep messing that up. Yes.
There's a difference. Do you know what's the difference?
Tell us, what is the difference?
So to be a dietitian, you actually have to be credentialed, right? You have to be licensed. So it's not like basically nutritionists, they only provide nutrition advice,
right?
But they are not necessarily licensed to do it. They're not like, registered to do it. So.
Right. So if there's somebody out there who's filing themselves as a nutritionist, don't even trust them because you got to talk to the dietitians.
Basically, yeah.
The dietitians are the money makers out here. Okay, everybody. So make sure.
I wouldn't say the money makers though, but
hey, depends on how much you charge.
Yeah.
You can pay top dollar for the best. So if you're trying to get a Yale for some advice, go ahead and look her up. She's gonna hook you guys up with some great advice. And that's gonna lead me into my next point. Actually, is your social media presence and your social media goals. Social media is so live and present at every single day life. The first thing we do when we wake up is scroll on social media, and it's the last thing we do throughout the day. I mean, all you're seeing is content on content on content. People have had amazing careers just off of YouTube, Instagram, just being monetized on social media. And I've been pushing Yeva for a while now to go ahead and get her career started because I think she has a really unique background. I think she has a lot of good things going for her, and I feel like that she can spread a lot of good advice. And so she finally started on her social media goals and this little career path. And it's scary getting started at first, when your friends and family see it, they're like, what? Like, why are they posting on social media? Like, this is weird. But the end goal, you got to have a vision. Yeva, what is your vision? What is your end goal with this entire social media thing? And walk us through your journey with that right now.
Yeah. So I do believe that social media now is kind of the new avenue, if you would, say. My thing is that I just want to provide people with value. I want them to take something away and learn something. With social media, there's a lot of, I would say, downsides, but also good things. My biggest thing is that I see so much misinformation online when it does come to nutrition and, eating and diet. So I do really want to kind of break those and create a social media platform, talking about nutrition, talking about physical activity, because I do think they, go hand in hand. And so for the longest time, I've just been kind of pondering on that idea that I want to do it. I just don't know how to do it in a sense, because I do have pretty high standards for myself, right? I don't want to just post willy-nilly stuff on social media, right? I want, like I said, providing like value to people. So it's kind of been hard in my head to just kind of see how I want to do it. So right now I have started, a new TikTok account where I've kind of started to post about some, physical activity and working out stuff. But I do think I want to inspire other people, right? So I think documenting my journey or even talking about my experiences of an international, student athlete, and like you said, maybe talking about transitioning from college sports into, real life and professional life. And so right now I'm just kind of been posting, but I'm still don't really know where I want it to go in a sense.
Right.
But I mean, you've given me some good advice, and sometimes I definitely think what's holding me back is what other people are going to think about me, like you said. So I do feel like I hold kind of myself to a high standard, but in a sense, I feel like that's been hindering, my presence on social media, because I'm overthinking what, other people might think. And so sometimes I feel like that can kind of be thief of joy.
No, I completely
Yeah.
agree with everything you said. I believe that you just gotta hit post. Honestly, if you got
Yeah.
something that you made and you got something you're passionate about, you just gotta hit post. And I know this from personal experience too. I've had videos that I really thought were gonna blow up and be this next big thing, and they completely flop. Something I put so much time into, versus videos where I haven't even tried and they've done millions. And it's
Yeah.
like, why does it work like that? The algorithm is very tricky. It's very difficult to predict when your video is gonna go viral or what people are gonna like or don't like. But at the same time, too, if you have a niche, and your niche obviously is nutrition, food, God, spirituality, becoming a professional athlete, people are going to follow you based upon your niche. Like, I follow people who are film directors, people who are content creators, like who I want to be in the future and who I want to mold myself to be. I follow them because they post consistent content. I feel that if you just post consistent content of what you want to be, who you want to become, and you're just consistent, you keep on going, you're going to learn more things as you go. I think you got it.
Yeah.
200%.
I do agree with that, but like you said again, I don't necessarily want to go viral or be, I guess, famous in that sense.
Right.
Because like I said, I just want to produce content that I personally think provides value to people, right? So it is, like you said, a balancing act, and like it
tricky.
is tricky because I don't want to just post, like see a trend and just kind of follow the trends and
Right.
stuff like that, go viral and become famous.
Create your own trends.
But yeah. So I
That
need
part.
to do that. I do. Yeah. I just need to sit down, really kind of think about what I want people to see more, because I feel like right now I'm just kind of, like I said, stuck a little bit in all of that. So
Yeah, no, 100%. You just gotta do something you're passionate about. If you're doing
yeah.
something you're passionate about and you like posting it, the views and everything else are gonna come. I know you say that you do not want to become viral or something like that, but at the same time too, seeing that people do enjoy your videos and you see that people are engaging in it, it brings a good feeling with that. You know, when you put in time, when you put in effort, because it obviously takes a lot of time to make these videos. It takes a lot of willpower too. You got to post without having to care what people think, which honestly is the hardest part about starting social media, is
Yeah.
going ahead, posting it, not caring what other people think, because people are going to talk either way, whether you do, whether you don't. You're damned both ways. You might as well choose something you want to do, choose who you want to be in the future.
Mhm.
So,
And with social media, I feel like one thing that I've, kind of hated is I feel like I compare myself a lot to others too.
right.
And I feel like that can also, again, be, thief of joy. And once I feel like you compare yourself to somebody else,
Mhm.
in your head, you believe that what you are producing is not good enough, or like what you have or what you are is not
Right.
good enough. So, kind of recognizing even those patterns of not, comparing yourself to others, and just kind of, you said, staying authentic to yourself. That's something I want. So, I think nowadays too, with social media, a lot of people are kind of starting to just like talk to the camera more and just share their story, instead of like, just, being in front of camera and doing some TikTok dance. You know what I
Right.
mean?
No, no.
Yeah. That's not what I want to do.
No, 100%. You want to bring valuable content to the world.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do struggle with that, what you just mentioned before about the comparison factor. I personally have struggled with that a lot, especially in high school too. When, I see a lot of people getting these D1 offers when I had nobody on my radar, no colleges were looking at me. And I see people, I'm like, dang, man, is he even that good? Like, why does he deserve a scholarship? Like, there's no way. Or I compare myself to another athlete, like, man, like, I don't even think that this guy's even that much better than me. Like, you start playing these games in yourself in your head, or like, it's hard because at the same time, social media can be a facade. It is so easy to go into Photoshop, edit a picture to make you taller, edit a picture to make you look better. When in reality, it's just fake. I mean, social media is just honestly, it's a flex. Like, you can put out the best of the best. It's not, hey, I lost all my money, or hey, I'm going through it right now, I'm depressed. It's just going to be the best of the best of the best. You don't know what people are hiding behind that.
Yeah. And I don't like that.
Exactly.
I need to break through that. I need
Exactly.
to show people like the raw thing.
Exactly. The
Yeah.
authentic.
The authentic. So I do really think I want to do it. Just like I said, I do want to break those misconceptions and stuff, especially when it comes, to food and nutrition. I think a lot of people now, whatever they see on social media, they don't even fact check anything.
Yeah. They just
So
believe.
yeah, they just believe, and they're like, oh yeah, there's this new tea that's gonna help me lose weight.
Don't do that. Please don't be that person.
Or there's this new thing that's gonna make me run faster, and then, after you're like, oh, I'm on drugs or something.
Just turns out being completely fake. No,
Yeah.
I completely
Yeah, so
understand that. And so yeah, but you've been killing this podcast so far. I mean, we talked about a lot of different factors so far. We talked about, how you got to the University of Nebraska, your current professional journey and where you want to become. And then we've also talked about, your social media trends and, your social media little hobby you got going on. You want to obviously bring it bigger into the future, but as of right now, you're still working through some ups and downs. Something I do, want to talk about, we were talking about it a little bit before, is I do know that you've gone through a few, injuries or a few hiccups here and there. What was your mindset through it all when, you would go through, like, even your surgery, for example, you're in the process and you're in the pursuit of becoming a professional athlete. There's so much unknown ahead of you, but, you still put in the work day in, day out without caring about what's going to come. You're putting everything you have into it. I mean, what's kind of your mindset and your go-to when you're going through a very difficult time?
yeah. I would say over the years, I've definitely learned more how to better handle those things, because I definitely think throughout my track career here at UNL, I've always had these small naggy injuries. I've been fortunate enough that I, haven't had any big injuries happen to me, and but sometimes those are even worse because they don't really know what it is, so they don't, you don't even know how to treat it, what to do.
No diagnosis.
Yeah. No medical diagnosis. So you just kind of have to, go with the flow and hope it's, you're gonna get through the season and things are gonna be good. So definitely feel like over the years my mindset, has changed a little bit. And sometimes now I feel like I view those as like more opportunities for me to get my mental right. If I can't physically work out, maybe that's a time where I can mentally prepare for what's to come, in a sense,
Right.
if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is always hard because, especially again, comparison, like seeing others, compete and do so well, and you just kind of have to sit out and you can't do what you love doing. So, I mean, over the past year, it's definitely been easier for me now to just kind of give everything to God, and let Him handle it, because there's so many things that are out of our control. And like with injuries too, like there's nothing. I'm sure you can, prevent them by doing, recovery and rolling out and stretching and things like that. But when it does, come to, injuries, you can never really predict them. So I think just, knowing that and realizing that you never know what's going to happen, but I'm going to make the best out of it, in a sense. So that has really helped me. And again, even after my surgery, just kind of taking it day by day, and, basically waking up every morning, okay, like what can I do today? If I can't run, what else can I do? So yeah, just taking it day by day and realizing that there's so many things that are out of your control. And yeah, that's kind of how I deal with it.
Yeah, having faith and having the willpower to get past that. I mean, it's
Yeah.
everything. I mean, I really like what you just mentioned about, okay, this part of my life is kind of closed at the moment. This door is closed, but I know the door is open. Let me get into something else. Let me try something new. That's actually my personal story is when I got hurt. This is when I got into podcasting and how
Mm.
this whole entire opportunity arise. So when I came back to track and when everything started getting good again, I was able to, come back stronger because I had this hobby now. So like I go to my track practice and I can come to the studio, do a podcast. I get to edit videos and like I discovered this entirely new passion over something at the time that I thought was the end of the world. I thought when I got hurt, like, oh, my
Mhm.
life's over. Like, my entire personality was track, was Niko the
Yeah.
athlete. But then I didn't even know that this was even a possibility to be a podcaster, to be a video editor, a photo editor, do all these different things. So, yeah, it's crazy how that works
Yeah.
sometimes.
And I do think, like you said, going back to the ups and downs, I think we do experience those because we sometimes put our identity in those things, right?
Ooh.
Yeah. Because if you're not happy with, if you're finding your true happiness in track, or if you're putting your happiness in, relying on money or things like that,
Right.
you're never going to be truly happy and fulfilled, I believe. So kind of just being happy with, yourself, knowing who you are, being happy with, who you are, helps to through those tough times, right? Because
Right.
if you do put your identity in track, in running, and you get satisfaction from winning all the time, and when those things are taken away, then you crumble. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Then you just kind of don't really know what to do. So yeah, just kind of being happy with who you are, besides, everything else. I think that's key too, to just kind of not having those ups and downs all the time.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, you just have to invest in yourself and just believe in yourself because that's always going to give you the best return on investment. If you put all your energy and all your time into some type of variable, maybe that's winning track and field meets or having a really good practice or gambling, whatever the case may
Mhm.
have been, over something that's out of your control, you're letting your emotions get, scaled based upon something that you can't control, something that you really have no say over. And so when you're doing that, you're going to be living your life on this emotional roller coaster that's going to
Mhm.
be constantly going up and down, up and down. You're never going to be in like a steady state. Whereas if you bet on yourself and you invest in yourself, if you are using track to boost the person you are and not letting track be the person you are, you're going to be better
Yeah,
all in
yeah,
all.
I know. It's all about enjoying the journey with
Exactly.
track, enjoying all the ups and downs and not letting it affect you so much. That's definitely something too. Yeah, like I've just have learned over the years where, yeah, I just kind of have to enjoy the journey. I cannot always depend on my feelings.
100%. And
Yeah.
actually, we got a texter in from the text line that says, never. Oh, there it goes. Thank you for making the text bigger. Never sell yourself short of what you can become. Listening to the young minds that have all talked on today's show gives me hope for the future of UNO.
Look at that.
Thank you, Notorious B.I.B. You've actually made my day with that text. So we're going to go ahead and send it to break. We'll be back in the next 5 minutes for our last segment. Thank you.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving. Go cardio crazy in our clean and spacious clubs, or get down with some dumbbells and strength equipment. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month. It's glow time. See club for details.
Hey, it's me, your cell phone. We need to talk about something serious. I know you love me. I know you like using me wherever you are, but I feel like this isn't working out when you're driving. I know you may think that it's possible to focus both on me and the road, but I just don't feel the same way. I think we should spend time away from each other when you're driving. It's for the best.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those round trips, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends, surprise parties, camps, birthdays. The same way you plan for the important moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
So what's this new concept happening at 1040 O Street? There's 93.7 The Ticket, there's the Mill Coffee and Tea, and there's Grandma's Bake Shop and Beatrice Bakery? Well, yeah, it's all of those things. It's a place for the community to hang out, grab a drink and a bite, and just chill, or work, or meet, or chat, or whatever you want to do. 93.7 The Ticket, the Mill Coffee and Tea, Grandma's Bake Shop, and Beatrice Bakery, all together at 1040 O Street.
School bus drivers, custodians, paraeducators, and the list goes on of all the education support professionals who help every school in Nebraska run smoothly. They ensure that our students have a safe ride to school, healthy meals, and a clean environment to learn. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. Take a moment to say thank you to the support staff at your child's school.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it.
10 years later, at age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here. I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe, and is the best way to protect that legacy.
Protect your legacy. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
My early Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard to take, but it gave my mom and me more time to plan together.
Talk to your family about seeing a doctor. Go to alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to all the listeners out there. We are live here on the Niko Project, live every single Sunday from 2 to 3 p.m. Joining me today for all my new listeners, I've had the honor of having my dear friend, Yeva Turk, come onto my podcast today. She is in pursuit of becoming a professional athlete. She was a triple jumper here at the University of Nebraska for about 5 years, 6 years-ish. And she's accompanied 2 Big Ten championships, individual Big Ten championships to her name. So she has a bit of success to her. And on top of that, too, she is still going. Like I said, she's trying to become a pro, trying to represent Latvia. She currently is also finding jobs. She's doing a lot of internships. She's doing her master's. She is a dietitian. That's what she's getting her master's for, dietitian. If you do not know the difference, a dietitian is a licensed person to give you health and nutrition advice, whereas a nutritionist is not licensed for that. So a little fun fact to know, if somebody ever tries to sell you a program online or something, you got to ask them, are you a dietitian? Are you a nutritionist? Any of the two? What's the difference? Do you know? So yeah, Yeva, something else, we can go ahead and close out this podcast with is, future goals. I mean, as you mentioned before, we believe that goals are between the journey, not just the end destination, but everything that's, accomplished in between. And so something I'd like to close this podcast out with, what are your goals? What are your aspirations? Who do you want to be 5-10 years down the road from now?
Mm-hmm. So let's start with more of the short-term goals,
Let's
right?
Well,
So basically, as I said, I'm international. So staying in the United States can be a little bit of a challenge.
yeah.
So this next year, I'm going to be on a work visa for a year. So right now, like I said, I'm kind of job searching and just hoping that I do secure a job, going into the next year. So that's kind of one of my biggest short-term goals, career-wise. And then I would love to have my first job in a clinical setting, so working at a hospital. I think that's just going to provide me with a great foundation. And then track wise, right now, I would say my goal is to just kind of get back into shape, get back into things, and hopefully competing in the summer. I'm going probably home to Latvia this summer, and hopefully I can compete for my country and things like that. So, I mean, I don't really know where life is going to take me in 5-10 years. It's really hard because I'm still kind of battling if I want to stay United States or if I would want to go home, because I do miss my family and things like that. But I could definitely see myself professionally thriving in the United States. So it's all just going to come down to if they're going to give me that work visa so I can stay here. Maybe down the road, get a green card or something.
Yeah.
Become a citizen, maybe.
That is difficult though, having the laws and
Yeah.
regulations kind of working against you and what you want to accomplish. But as you mentioned before, I mean, some things are uncontrollable and you just got to put them in God's
Yeah,
hands and
yeah.
have the faith that everything's going to work out in the end.
Yes, I know God's got me, and that's been really helpful to me to just kind of like said, I can have, I can have all these goals and I can have all these aspirations, but you never know what's going to happen, right?
Right.
So just having somebody in my corner like God can really
Yeah.
help.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, I remember listening to a podcast one time, and they did say that God kind of actually laughs at you when you make plans or set out goals because
Mhm.
so there's a lot of believers out there that the end is already written or He already knows what's going to happen to you in the
Mhm.
future, and so when you have these goals and where you think you're going to be or where you want to be, He's kind of laughing at you in a sense because He's like I already have this plan out for you. Like, you can think that for now. I'll let you think that, but I mean, like, I got something way greater in store that you can't even imagine or script out, goal, write out, whatever
Mhm.
the case may have been. So.
Yeah, look at you, spiritual Niko.
Hey, a little bit. I don't like to do it on the podcast. I don't like to talk about me. I like to talk about my guests, get to know who
Yeah.
you guys are, your goals, aspirations, reasons to why you guys, end up doing things and whatnot. But
Yeah, I'm definitely super excited about the future, and it's definitely exciting to kind of maybe break out of that UNL track team, because I feel like you can definitely become you know athlete can kind of become your identity, like you said, and you're
correct,
always
correct.
just surrounded by that. So now just kind of branching out and finding other things I'm good at, finding other hobbies and what I like to do outside of just running and jumping and doing track. So that's definitely something I'm really interested in to just kind of find out and figure out,
Yeah. To all the fans out there and viewers of Nebraska sports, or even sports in general, too, you got to remember that the athlete, there's so much more to the athlete just based upon what they do on the field, the court, the ice, whatever sport they play. I mean, let's say you do put up some crazy money on an athlete. Don't go just get mad at them because of the performance. Remember that they are human. They have family members. They have feelings. They have emotions. I mean, we're all, especially in the college level, we're all anywhere from 18 to 20, 22, 23, 24, 25 years old. And, putting all this pressure on these kids and saying these crazy things on Twitter. Just remember, before you tweet out something crazy, that these are people, these are humans, and to respect them and what they do. That's all I'm going to say. So, Yeva, thank you. You absolutely killed this podcast for us today. I'm going to have you go ahead and close us out. Any final advice, mentorship you want to give to our viewers out there?
Yeah, well, thank you again for inviting me. And like I said, my main, message would be to be, stay authentic to yourself, get after your goals, stay disciplined, and trust God.
100%. See you guys next week. Bye.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you.